What's up, my peeps? Time for another prediction game video. This time it is CM Punk versus Ryback with Paul Heyman in his corner. And I wouldn't be surprised if at Battleground that Curtis Axel is also in Ryback's corner. Or maybe not, I don't know. But this was the most difficult matchup for me to predict on this card. Both guys have good reasons to win this matchup. CM Punk, for instance, CM Punk lost since returning, he won a Payback first of all, but then he lost that Money in the Bank, he lost at SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar, and then he also lost against Curtis Axel and Paul Heyman at Night of Champions. But at the same time, at Night of Champions, he did pin Curtis Axel, but in the end, Paul Heyman pinned CM Punk. So if he were to lose at Battleground, that'd be three pay-per-view losses in a row for CM Punk. But, you know, that's happened before for CM Punk when he lost the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, and then he lost the rematch at the Elimination Chamber, and then he also lost his matchup against The Undertaker at WrestleMania, 3 pay-per-views in a row. But at the same time, back then, that losing streak for Punk kind of led Punk to, take some time off and then come back, and he came back as a face. And then when it comes to Ryback, well, Ryback's pay-per-view win-loss record is absolutely terrible. Ever since he stopped, defeating local superstars, jobbers, handicap matches on pay-per-views, he's pretty much been losing like every single pay-per-view match since his Hell in a Cell match with CM Punk. The only pay-per-view match I remember Ryback winning was kind of recent. It was Ryback, not that recent though, but it was Ryback versus Chris Jericho. And that's something that both Ryback and CM Punk have in common. The only recent pay-per-view victory they've had is against Chris Jericho. CM Punk, right when he returned at Payback, beat Chris Jericho, and Ryback beat Chris Jericho at, I don't know, honestly I don't remember which pay-per-view it was. It might have been Money, no, I don't think it was Money in the Bank. It wasn't Money in the Bank, it was, honestly I'm not sure, but pretty much Ryback beat Chris Jericho on pay-per-view, CM Punk beat Chris Jericho on pay-per-view, but since facing off against Chris Jericho, both guys have not won on pay-per-view. So right now it's a question of who's gonna break their pay-per-view streak, who's gonna break their losing pay-per-view streak. Is it gonna be CM Punk or is it gonna be Ryback? It was tough to pick, but then I thought about something, and I mean, Ryback just joined up with Paul Heyman. He just recently saved Paul Heyman, and all Paul Heyman's been managing and been at ringside with Ryback for every single one of his matches. And the whole thing with Paul Heyman is that when he manages a superstar, he brings them to the top. He gets them championship gold. He, has them in a better position, and they start winning matches. Like, for example, when he helped Curtis Axel out. Curtis Axel debuted or re-debuted and beat Triple H although by countout, but he still beat Triple H by countouts, and John Cena by countouts, beat a bunch of people by countouts. And now Ryback. If Ryback loses at Battleground, then it's kind of a bad start for the whole Paul Heyman Ryback partnership thing. I mean, I would assume, you'd want to associate yourself with Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman will bring you, will help you win more matches, this and that. It just seems like if it was just Ryback versus CM Punk and there was no Paul Heyman at ringside, then I would have possibly went with CM Punk. But now that Ryback, like I said, just got paired up with Paul Heyman, and on top of that, it's not even just Paul Heyman that's in Ryback's corner, it's also Curtis Axel. So you've got this whole, this stable. You've got Curtis Axel and Paul Heyman, could be helping out Ryback here. Of course, this matchup is a regular matchup as far as I know. It's not a no disqualification match. So if they do interfere and the referee sees it, then, Ryback gets disqualified. That is something I also thought about, because I could also see a disqualification victory for CM Punk. If CM Punk wins this matchup, I do think it's probably going to be by disqualification, or if not, by roll-up or something like that. Honestly, I'm not even sure if it's going to be by disqualification, because why would Ryback... Ryback himself getting himself disqualified, I can't see that, because why would he do that? Especially when he has Paul Heyman in his corner and maybe Curtis Axel. Maybe he gets disqualified with Curtis Axel accidentally getting disqualified, or, costing Ryback the matchup. I don't know, there's just so many possibilities. It's really unpredictable. Really unpredictable. I know so far Ryback has never been able to defeat CM Punk by pinfall. So, and I don't even think he's beaten him by disqualification, if I'm not mistaken here. So, will this Sunday at Battleground be the night he beats CM Punk? You look at last year, the roles were reversed. It was CM Punk as the heel, Ryback as the face, and Paul Heyman was on the opposite side of the ring representing CM Punk, not Ryback. So, I could also, one of the reasons why I'm also going with Ryback here is, recently Paul Heyman, after beating CM Punk, after pinning him, although Ryback helped him, he's been saying he's the best in the world. He's been saying that, without him, CM Punk is not the best in the world. They were together the best in the world, and now Paul Heyman's the best in the world. So if Ryback wins this matchup, Paul Heyman can state, see, without me, I made you the best in the world. Now that I'm aligned with Ryback, you can't beat Ryback. That I could definitely see happening. Because if you look at last year, whenever CM Punk fought Ryback, there was always something happening. The Shield interfering every single time and costing Ryback the matchup. So, like I said, Paul Heyman can rub it in if Ryback wins this matchup, and they could put a little doubt into CM Punk, saying that you can't beat Ryback with Paul Heyman no longer in your corner, no longer, paying off the Shield, this and that. But also, you could also have CM Punk win this matchup and prove to Paul Heyman that, hey, I didn't need your help to beat Ryback, or, I don't need you, I'm the best in the world on my own. It's, like I said, man, this matchup is just, there's a lot of reasons for both guys winning or losing this matchup. I believe one of the many reasons why this match is so unpredictable is because I don't know where this is going to go from here. How is CM Punk going to finally get his hands on Paul Heyman? I'm thinking it's going to be at Hell in a Cell, but how is that going to be set up? How is he going to get his hands on Paul Heyman? Although I am going with Ryback, if Ryback beats CM Punk here, then why would CM Punk get a shot at Paul Heyman unless he wins a matchup on Raw or something like that, giving him, a chance or a match with Paul Heyman if he wins the matchup on Raw, some sort of matchup, I don't know. Because now with, not only Curtis Axel, you've got Curtis Axel and Ryback, it's kind of difficult to think about how, in the end, CM Punk is going to beat up Paul Heyman, get his revenge on Paul Heyman. How's he going to do it with, like I said, both Ryback and Curtis Axel trying to stop him? One way is maybe like a handicap match, maybe CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman inside the Hell in a Cell, but I don't think that would take place. I don't think we'd see that. So I'm not sure. And one scenario I could see is recently on the pre-shows or the kickoffs, they've announced, stipulations for some matches on the card. For example, the CM Punk match against Brock Lesnar on the kickoff, they announced that it was going to be no holds barred. Same with the handicap match, CM Punk versus Curtis Axel and Paul Heyman at Night of Champions. what if they announce if CM Punk wins this matchup, then he gets his hands on Paul Heyman at Hell in a Cell? If they do announce that, then I'm 100% picking CM Punk as my new prediction, but they haven't announced that, and we don't know if they will. So I'm sticking with Ryback as my prediction, and that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, you can click that like button, I'd really appreciate it, and I'm out. See you guys.